What's up, NUB Nation? How's everybody doing? The thumbnail and title of this video is not clickbait. I made a huge mistake. I was contacted today by someone on the phone that I'm not going to name, and he let me know that the island that we traveled to 2 days ago, if you were watching the vlog, is actually a wildlife refugee. Now, obviously, before going to the island, I had no idea that this was the case. And I'm making this video to raise awareness about this wildlife refugee. Now, the reason this guy called me was to let me know that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service knew that we were on the island, and they were highly concerned that we were out there. Obviously, I have no idea what this means moving forward, but the reason that I'm making this video is not because of that. It's because of the animals on the island. The island is part of the Edwin B. Forsythe Wildlife Refugee. It's here in New Jersey. Pretty much what's happening on the island is that there are, for one, endangered species that live on this island, and there's a lot of other animals and birds that live on the island and share the habitat as well. This island is completely off limits to anyone traveling there. So if you saw the video and it gave you any ideas about visiting this island, please, I beg you, do not visit this island. It's federal land. It's part of a wildlife refugee. The reason that I'm making this video right now is simply to urge people to not visit this area. And I'm going to give you guys some more details on exactly what's going on. And I'm going to be reading off of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's website, because this is stuff that I just learned about today myself, and I haven't had time to, memorize it or anything like that, so I'm going to be doing some reading. The Edwin B. Forsythe National Wildlife Refugee protects more than 47,000 acres of southern New Jersey's coastal habitats, which is actively managed by migratory birds. The refugee's location is on the Atlantic Flyway's most active flight paths, makes it an important link in seasonal bird migration. Its value for the protection of water birds and their habitat continues to increase as people develop the New Jersey shore for our own use. Forsythe is one of more than 555 refugees in the National Wildlife Refugee System. Administered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the National Wildlife Refugee System is a network of lands and waters managed specifically for the protection of wildlife and wildlife habitat, and represents the most comprehensive wildlife resource management program in the world. Units of the system stretch across the United States from northern Alaska to the Florida Keys and include small islands in the Caribbean and South Pacific. The character of the refugees is as diverse as the nation itself. Obviously, if you guys are new to the channel, you might not have any idea who I am, but my name is Ben Gravy, and I am an active animal enthusiast. I've been a vegan for almost 2 years. If you watched the video the other day, it obviously starts out by us saving a turtle that was crossing the street because we had seen multiple turtles getting run over as we drove to our launching spot to go out to this island. Obviously, we had no idea that it was a wildlife refugee. We actually thought that we were going to a place called Pullen Island, which I later discovered we got nowhere near because for whatever reason, we decided to dock where we did and get off of the boat when we did. Obviously, we meant no harm by any of this. This video is about raising awareness about the animals, the endangered species specifically, that live on this island and that use this island for part of their migration. I'm currently on the website for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services under the Edwin B. Forsythe page, and it looks like there's a tab here for getting involved. Internships. They have volunteer opportunities and friends groups, and it looks like this is a very active community. I'm waiting today to talk to someone from the Wildlife Services, and I'm obviously going to be offering my help and offering volunteer time and offering my vlog as a way to raise awareness for these guys so that this kind of stuff doesn't continue to happen. And obviously, I'm the one at fault here for not doing my research and knowing what I was getting into, but I just can't stress enough how important this is for me, because after I got this phone call earlier today about the endangered migratory birds that live on the island, My heart has been heavy in my chest all day long since this, and I figured I can sit around and wait to get a phone call from these people and try to figure out what I can do to help, or I can make a video and I can get thousands of people involved. So if you're watching this video, please share it on your social media, and please leave a comment so that this video can get the attention that it deserves. Mostly the point that I want to get across with making this is that this island is a place for endangered species. Do not go to this island. Do not make the mistake that I made and put these endangered species at risk. This is something that I'd never ever want to do. Obviously, who would want to do that? I would want to do everything in my power to help any animals or people that I can. I just really want to apologize for my lack of knowledge on the whole matter, and I just want to say that I'm truly sorry, and I hope to help grow awareness and help raise awareness about this matter in the future. It's actually really important for me, because every time that I see an animal go extinct in our world, it breaks my heart. So I'm going to read this part about resource management on the website and share with you guys some information about this topic. To help plants and wildlife, Refuge staff uses a variety of habitat management techniques to maintain, recover, or enhance plant and wildlife values. Refuge staff carefully considers any management techniques and employ them in varying degrees according to the situation. The water levels are carefully monitored and controlled to foster desired plant growth. Sometimes sensitive areas are closed to the public so that the land can recover more quickly. Prescribed burning, mowing, experimental biocontrol insect releases, and seeding are also some of the techniques used to help native plants recover on national wildlife refuges. Standardized ground and aerial wildlife surveys and vegetation surveys are conducted on some refuges throughout the year to inventory populations and document habitat use. Units are evaluated by how well they met habitat and wildlife use objectives. Public involvement and input are important to us and to the planning process, and we hope that you will take an active interest in the process individually and as a community. In 2017, the Good Luck Point pole removal project was completed after the removal of nearly 500 telephone poles, and thus restoring approximately 222 acres of marshland to its original habitat. The main thing for me is that I want to meet the birds that live on this island. And here we go, I found the page. Wildlife and habitat. The piping plovers. The piping plover is a small shorebird that nests on sandy beaches. Beginning in the early 1950s, plovers began experiencing loss of habitat due to development on barrier islands. Piping plovers nest on the Holgate and Little Beach Islands sections of the Edwin B. Forsythe National Wildlife Refuge. 1/4 to 1/3 of the nesting population of piping plover found in New Jersey nest here. Wow. The Atlantic coast population of nesting piping plovers extends from Canada to North Carolina. The piping plover was officially listed January 10th, 1986 as threatened under the Endangered Species Act of 1973. That is a cute bird right there. American black duck. The American black duck is a dabbling duck that spends the winter on the shores of the East Coast. 45% of the total population of American black ducks winter in New Jersey. Forsythe houses a great proportion of that number. American black ducks can be seen from the Wildlife Drive in large numbers in the winter months. The Atlantic brant. Atlantic brant are solely dependent on marine plants for food. Prior to the 1930s, their diet consisted entirely of eelgrass. A mold attacked and killed eelgrass in the 1930s, which caused a rapid drop in the brant population. This area was the last stronghold for the brant and is part of the reason the Forsythe National Wildlife Reserve was founded. 57% of the Atlantic brant population winters in New Jersey. The salt marsh. Of the refugees, 47,000 acres, or 78%, is salt marsh. Salt marsh is the most productive land on Earth, twice as productive as even the richest farmlands. This makes salt marshes a very important nursery for young fish, and a great buffer to upland coastal for nor'easters, hurricanes, and strong winds. It is also a nesting habitat for coastal songbirds such as salt marsh and seaside sparrows, and feeding grounds for many species of ducks, geese, herons, and egrets. You might notice that most of the salt marsh appears to look the same, and that is because only a few plant species, which are specifically adapted to tolerate salt water are capable of growing here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the link to this website in the description of this video. Once again, I cannot stress this enough. Do not go to this island. Research all of this National Wildlife Refugee stuff before you want to go on some type of mission like this, because I know from now on I'm going to be researching everything before I just go out and do it, because this is stuff that we need to know, and this is information that I had no idea about. I had no idea that that was a wildlife reserve. We literally just thought that we were driving to an island, and we thought that it was going to be an interesting and fun experience, and we had no idea that we were endangering species that are already endangered. So once again, I just want to say that I'm sorry. I want to do anything that I can to help. So starting with this video, this is my way of raising awareness for this topic, and I hope that you guys can share this video around and raise awareness for this, because there's too much bad happening in the world that we live in. I don't want to be a part of it. I just want to apologize to the animals, and this is the best way that I can do that, because if I did hurt any animals, my heart would be broken. So please share this video around, and thank you guys for your time, and I look forward to learning more about this and sharing more about it with you guys. I hope that everyone's having a good day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.